Happy 2022 to all of you ladies kicking ass out there already for this brand new year. If you're anything like me, which I know most of you are, the beginning of a new year is so damn exciting. You get to celebrate your wins from the previous year and make plans for the big new year ahead. I mean, seriously, it's like a clean slate to start achieving bigger and even better things than the year before and gain even more perspective on who we are as women in this world. On today's episode, we're going to talk about New Year, new goals. Are you ready to crush them? Hey y'all, I'm so glad you're here. This is Ladies Kickin' Ass, a helpful and encouraging podcast for women who work in or support the home service and skilled trades industries. My name is Tanya Wilson, and I'm passionate about encouraging women to break into this industry, stand up in their roles if they're already here, tell their stories of badassery, and provide coaching, encouragement, industry secrets, and business hacks that I've personally used in my own companies to help you build and scale the service business of your dreams. But we can't talk hustle without addressing the bustle, and that means most of us are trying to do a million things at once. Like juggling being an entrepreneur, raising a family, being a partner, wife, sister, friend, soccer mom, doggy mom, and all those other titles that we love. It's all on the table here. We discuss the wins, the losses, marketing, momming, business development, relationships, and above it all, loving and believing in yourself. I'm on a mission to build a community of women that are supporting and celebrating the fact that most of us don't have our shit together, and that's okay. But together, with great support, we can do it all. Come on, let's do this. Welcome to the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast. So I saw a quote the other day and it just resonated so much with me. It said, "This year, I'm not setting New Year resolutions. I'm setting New Year intentions." And I was like, holy crap. What one word shift can make such a massive difference in the way that you look at stuff? I mean, seriously, it floored me because it's something that I have been very passionate about for 2022. And yet I just couldn't find the right word for it. I was looking at like resolution with goals or things like that. Many people will proclaim this grand New Year resolution, which, let's be honest, is typically something like they know they will never accomplish, or they set a goal so damn big that they will constantly feel like a failure until they get there. They forget to celebrate the little wins along the way. I mean, how many times have we set a resolution like this? I'll tell you what mine was last year. I proclaimed I'll be debt free by the end of the year. So there's $45,000 looming me in the face at the beginning of 2021, albeit 75% of that is student loan debt I'm still paying on, but y'all know how that goes. But there's $45,000 showing on my credit report. And the only plan that I truly made was proclaiming that I would be rid of it by the end of the year, which was an extremely tall order, I'll admit. All I could see was this blinding $45,000 in my face. And I was like, it's all or nothing. I have to get rid of this. It was on my mind all the time. It was the only thing I was thinking about. And I'm not saying don't dream big and make those big goals, but you have to have great plans to conquer all of that. I had to have a great plan in place, baby steps, like the great Dave Ramsey talks about so much, in order to conquer all that debt. I had to have a plan in place to reach my goal. I mean, if you really break it down, if I was going to pay off $45,000 in 12 months, how much extra would I have to pay each month to make that happen? That's what I should have looked at. I'm not getting into the interest on credit cards and all that BS, but if calculated at face value, that's an extra $3,750 per month to make that debt clear by the end of the year. So for those that are trying to figure that out in their minds, that's 45,000 divided by 12 is $3,750 per month I have to pay towards this to get it gone. Then I should have asked myself the big question. Is that extra payment per month doable with the income that I have right now? Last year, I was focusing heavily on reinvesting in my businesses. So it didn't really take a whole lot other than what I needed to live on out of my businesses because I was really working on building those and saving up money so that we could expand. If I was, say, taking home $5,000 a month, I would have no plans or ways of making that extra money on top of that. Then I would have never been out of debt on time. There's no way. It would have been impossible. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Did I chunk it down? Yes, I did. But I didn't knock it all the way out by the end of the year last year because I had already made a previous plan that kind of made this plan not possible. So, what did that do? It's like a confidence killer. It's self sabotage at its finest. Just don't do it. Don't make that big goal and then wish that you could get it all accomplished without making baby steps to get to it. A smarter way to look at that goal would have been to figure out a way to make that extra money per month before I made that one of my top goals of being debt free in 1 year. The same goes for a lot of us at the beginning of the year. We always say we're going to go back to the gym. And even if it's not for weight loss, we're just going to go back to the gym. It's like new year, it's like new gym membership. But at the beginning of the year, don't claim to lose 50 pounds at the beginning of the year. Claim to lose 13 pounds by the end of March. And then continue this every 3 months. And if you did that, you'd lose the 50 pounds in a year. One, I'm the person I tell you not to be at the beginning of this podcast. Do you know how many times I've promised I'm going to lose 50 pounds? Just be sitting here, no 50 pounds later, not even 10, probably with COVID this last year and just being stressed out of my mind with all that came from that. Kids at home, trying to be a boss, teacher, mom, wife at the same time. Oh my God, I'm sure plenty of you also had pull your hair out moments last year. I've definitely probably added more because chocolate just sounded really good at the end of the day. Some months, I'm telling you, it will be easier, and some months it will suck. But the smaller, more achievable goals get you moving, and moving creates momentum, and momentum creates positive change. And when you see positive change, you want to keep going. So, personally, this year, I'm going for those improvement resolutions/intentions. Well, what is that? Let me tell you. I had an epiphany. This year, my theme is progress, not perfection. It's processes will get us to the big part of what we're trying to do with our businesses. And even with our family, having processes for things is so important. Many of you overachievers out there, aka my ladies kicking ass audience, think that if you didn't get all done or done perfectly, it doesn't count. God, I even notice this in my children anymore. They're getting like this too, which of course, if they have mamas like us, they're watching what we do. Whether we're being intentional with that or not, they're watching. We are the ones that build the daily task list of 27 items and get 25 things done and checked off. And then we go home and dwell on the 2 that we missed. Any of you nodding your head right now? Well, this podcast is going to be for you. Progress means that we're moving. Again, moving creates momentum. Momentum creates positive change. And when you see positive change, that's right, you want to keep going. This year, I'm not striving for any specific one thing like paying off $45,000 in debt. No, this year in my business and personally, I'm striving for progress. And that starts by me making my top 5 progress resolutions or intentions that I'm focusing on this year. I want to share them with you in this podcast in hopes that they may get you thinking and may get you closer to the things or places or feelings that you are hoping to find in 2022. Number 1, do it afraid. You are never going to be as ready as you think you need to be unless you just do the damn thing. So that is what I'm doing this year. I'm venturing into a business space that I'm extremely unqualified or uneducated in, and that is the beauty industry. My only qualification for this industry is the ungodly amount of products purchased from Ulta that decorate my entire bathroom countertop, which I'm sure my husband is about ready to kill me over. But that may also qualify me for this position because I, along with my daughter, Aisley, are creating a skincare and body products line for tweens and teens. My daughter has wanted to do this for years, like 2 years. She's been talking about starting her own business. And so finally, we just went after it. We couldn't find what we wanted in the stores, so we're creating our own products to fill a void that we were finding in the market. Our business name is Sudsley, and that came together. Suds, like soap suds, and my daughter's name is Aisley. Hashtag just too cute. We are not sure what we are doing, but we are having a hell of a time working on this thing together. We are having so much fun, and I'm getting so much closer with my daughter, and what an education she is getting for a 12-year-old. We have an incredible coach, and we're throwing our hats in this ring of industry. We're fired up, and the movement of trying will create momentum we need to keep going. We're finding a way to try to make an impact where we feel there is space at the table. We may fail miserably at times, but the only way we fail altogether is if we give up on our dream of co-owning a business together and trying to fill the market void. Failure is a lesson learned. Success is a lesson applied. When you learn the lesson, yep, you got it in the failure before that success. So just do it. Do it scared. So the second thing I'm going to work on this year is the power of proximity. And my favorite coach of all time, if you listen to this podcast, it's Tony Robbins. And he has a great quote about this. Proximity is power. If you can get proximity with people that are the best in the world, things can happen because of all of the people they know, the insights they have, and the life experience they have. They can save a decade of time by one insight. Whoa, if that isn't the truth. My resolution this year is that if a person or things are not contributing to my life in a positive way, it's got to go. Being around people who are better than me at the things I want to do will not only continuously encourage me to do better, but they are a great resource for me to get there faster. I've already had a few things happen this year that I've had to make big decisions and make big changes. But that's how serious I am about this year. Even though it's hard, if this is what you're wanting to do is grow like a weed this year at that speed, you must let go of the anchors in your life. I don't care who it is. Let it go. Let them go. You don't have to be nasty, and you don't have to completely sever everything, but depending upon who it is, but you have got to make sure that you are not spending the majority of time around this person or those people for that matter, if you really want to get to where you're going. The purpose of the online community of Ladies Kicking Ass is designed to be a place where you get into proximity with people who are doing business the way you would like to, full of amazing, badass women who are willing to give the hand up and help you achieve your business and personal goals. I look forward to meeting as many of you as I can this year. If you're in this group and listening to this podcast, please shoot me a DM. Let's chat. Let's set up a Zoom. Let's go get a drink. Let's go have coffee. If you're local, I would love to meet you. I've also set with this goal another personal goal to complete all of Tony Robbins' coaching programs in 2022. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of intensity. It's a lot of money. And did I say time? Because Tony's programs are famously 14 plus hours per day for several days in a row. But it's been a dream of mine my entire life. And this year it will come true for me. These programs come with meeting like-minded people from around the world that can become friends and business mentors or even accountability buddies. I'm just so excited. My husband and I did UPW last year, and we did Date with Destiny in December, and it was just the most incredible experience. And I would challenge any of you to look into some of those. I know UPW is coming up in March. It is extreme value for what you get. I think it's less than $500, and it's like 3 or 4 like 14-hour days. It is absolutely incredible. And the really cool thing about it is that they do some virtual stuff now, so you can truly involve your entire family. We get our kids involved with it, and it's just so much fun. I truly, truly encourage you to set your own goals to get into proximity with the right people, the ones that will help you achieve your dreams and your goals this year. Let go of the dead weights that bring you down, cost you money, don't contribute positively in your life. Sure, it'll be hard, but everything that is worth it usually is. Another goal I set on Saturday at our meeting was to go to at least one networking event per week. Now, that can be an online Zoom meeting if I'm completely crazy busy, or I can meet up for a happy hour or a lunch somewhere. Even a ribbon cutting for the local Chamber of Commerce is a place that I can go and meet someone new. A lot of us go to events and functions like this, and we're petrified and we stand in the corner. I am one of those people sometimes. Sometimes I have a really hard time just jumping right in there. I'm someone that kind of stands back and observes for a little while. I really do love and appreciate meeting new people so much, though. So this year, it's not even a question. I must go in, find someone, and just go introduce myself. I'm so looking forward to what that will bring and how many contacts I can make from that. The important thing about those meetings, too, is great. You go there and network, and you may come home with a handful of business cards, but what the hell do you do with them when you get home? I am setting an appointment for myself in my calendar at the end of each one of these meetings for at least an hour so that I can go online and like their Facebook or follow them on Instagram, connect on LinkedIn. I am also going to shoot them individually if I had a conversation with them, and email about how nice it was to meet them. And ladies, you can set up something to where you have just a template, and then you can go in and plug in the little things that make it personal. Like, make it simple for yourself so that you will get it done. But you will go so much further by doing things like this. I always envy people that after I meet at a networking event, they follow up with me and do these things. And I want to be that person this year. I really want them to realize that us meeting really was a great thing. Even if it's somebody, I think a lot of times too in the home service industry, we think, well, what is an interior designer going to be able to do to help a septic company out? You would be so surprised. And you know what? It might not have anything to do with her business. It could literally be that she lives on a house that has a septic system and she becomes your referral. So don't ever underestimate how these people can help you. Just continue to keep talking about your business, work on that pitch. If you don't have a 30-second, we call them elevator pitch, or overview of what your company does or what you do as a person, I highly recommend, ladies, that you have a bit about who you are in 30 seconds. "Oh, what do you do?" is typically what people ask you. Don't just You are not your business. You are not your business. You love your business, but you're also a woman and you're a mom and you have 5 kids or 6 kids or 10 kids, I don't know. And you enjoy going out and riding racers on the weekends, or you enjoy going to get your nails done with your daughter, or you enjoy all kinds of different things, you know? I really think it's important that we don't lose ourselves in these networking opportunities to connect with someone over personal interests instead of just always looking for those professional interests. So be sure to let them know who you are, you know? And don't try to be somebody that you're not at these. It's so annoying. Oh my gosh. Okay, on to number 3. If it's costing me peace, it's gone. Now, I just covered a little bit of this, but I'm getting specific here with this one personally because I've had something that I have been nursing for a period of time to get me by. It's got to go. If there are things going on in my businesses that continuously cause me stress or in my personal life, they are gone too. This one is simple, ladies. If it is costing you your peace, then get it the hell out of your life. This could be a relationship that you have been in for far too long that you know sucks, but you just keep hanging on to it. Stop it. You will become a much better version of yourself when you don't have an obligatory relationship that is sucking the life out of you. Relationships are meant to enhance our lives. You're meant to enhance each other's lives. If it's not going that way, don't continue in it. Do you understand where I'm going here with this? I mean, it could be a friendship. It could be someone you're dating that you've dated far too long. It could be a business partner. It could be someone that works in your company. You know, there's a lot of different ways that this comes in. But if it is not contributing positively to you reaching your goals and you living with internal peace inside of your own body and head every day, you have to change it. You truly have the power to protect your own peace. So use it. Stop feeling bad and stop feeling like, oh, I can't say anything. I don't want to hurt their feelings. You know what you're doing by doing that? You're hurting your own feelings. And that is a confidence killer. And we're all about kicking everything in the ass this year. Bye bye. That is a confidence killer. Okay, next one. Nobody can beat me at being me. At the end of 2021, I was not feeling all that confident in myself, to be honest with you. And I just needed to take a break. That's the reason this podcast took a little hiatus in November and December. I had just received news that my grandmother, who is and has always been my lifetime hero, and much more of a mother to me than my own mother ever was, has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And it hit me so hard. I just cracked and I couldn't find my strength or my courage. I went through a little sappy depression of like, what am I going to do without her? And I'm sorry for the emotion in this, but this is really real and it just really happened. And it was a big part of my life. And when I found out the news about my grandma, I really started doubting myself on so many levels. I never really realized how much I ran to her and she was my crutch and she was my confidence. Anytime I was feeling low, I would always call my grandma. My grandma would always pick me right back up and put me on that incredible pedestal that she puts all of her grandchildren on. I'm not just a special one. She just made everybody feel so important. But I truly felt like every time I would sit down to record a podcast, I just had this horrible imposter feeling. And I just couldn't get the words out the way that I was feeling them inside. I tried and I tried a couple of times, and for each episode I tried to do, and it just wasn't coming out. I would just be scatterbrained. Unfortunately, she passed away just 2 days after Christmas. and I just really needed to take some time for myself. A couple weeks ago, my family and I traveled back to my hometown in Wyoming for her funeral and to lay her to rest and celebrate what a beautiful life of service she had lived. And something just clicked for me while I was there, you know? I really felt just this overwhelming comfort at her graveside as I'm internally thinking and struggling with, like, who the hell do you think you are? And I just truly felt this warmth come over me that was like, you're meant for more. You're meant to help. Then I needed to follow the dream of my heart, and you got this, girl. I truly felt like my grandmother was with me, and she could, for the first time, feel what I was thinking in that self-doubt. And those beautiful times that I spent with her on the phone or in person and all the encouragement that she had given me over the years just fell together so beautifully, and it made me realize something. That perfection doesn't exist. Perfection paralysis does, and I need to just go for it. I might not have all the answers. I don't think anybody does, I'm certainly no Tony Robbins or Mel Robbins or Jen Sincero, Richard Branson, Gary Vee, Ed Milet, whoever it is that you're listening to, but I hope to have a voice and an angle that's unique to my audience. And if I'm helping one person with this podcast or my blog or the daily inspirational quotes on my social media accounts, I'm making the difference I was always meant to make. When I say I was made for more, I realized at that moment that I didn't have to sacrifice time with my family to have successful companies. I didn't have to sacrifice the things I need to do as a mother and a wife, and even for myself in order to be successful. My level of success is not just my business. I also realized neither my home life or my business is ever going to be perfect. I could work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm always going to have something to do. And I'm sure many of you ladies can resonate with this. I hope that my voice and my perspective in this podcast and through my blog and social media can speak to one person that needs it. And I realized that the way that I do things is different than the way anybody else does it because no one can beat me at being me. No one is me. And sometimes you just need to hear it from someone else. My grandmother used to say, don't forget about the little things. Those are the big things in the end. And wow, was she ever right? It's maybe the way that I talk or the industries in which I have knowledge and I can help others. Maybe it's using the podcast as a platform to give other women in my same kind of shoes a platform to share their hard earned story and encourage others from all kinds of service industries to follow their dreams. So this year, I am just going to do it. I'm just going to put it all out there. We're going to see how it goes. And, sometimes I'm sure many of you women can be like, maybe you told your husband or partner and you're like, hey, we need to do this or this. We need to do this or this. Or, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then somebody else says that to your husband or partner and they're like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And you're like, oh my gosh, as you're smacking your head against your forehead. I've been telling you this. Except they needed to hear it from somebody else. I do that often. I'm sure I hear things from somebody. I probably do this to my husband too. That he says or that they say, and it just goes in one ear and out the other. And then someone I have a connection with will say it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is the most amazing thing ever. So hopefully I can be that voice for someone that needs it out there. My last and still super important intentional resolution this year is to have more movement, mindfulness, and gratitude in order to be a healthier person. I've thought for so many years, you need to lose X amount of weight before you become this healthy person. You need to have this kind of body before you are a healthy person. And it's bullshit. I'm quite healthy. Yes, I have to lose some weight, but I'm still pretty damn healthy. What's not as healthy as my body can be sometimes is my mind or my thoughts. And those things are going to be my focus this year. And I truly believe with incorporating those in daily movement of some form, I don't have to go to the gym and beat the crap out of my body in order to feel like I'm actually working out. If I go for a walk with my husband or my kids in the evening and I'm getting steps in and I'm doing that, I'm moving, and this is what I need to be healthy in my body. I want to really work hard at continuing with the morning routine and really being able to think and write about how thankful I am for things. You know, something I truly want to work with. If you have worked with your spouse, I'm sure that you know that that is not an easy task to do sometimes. It can be that your marriage and your work life just become like a work life. Because you tend to talk about it more often, you know? And I am being married to people, there's no doubt, and let's be real here, because that's what we do here. There's annoyances between each other, you know? But I truly want to wake up and think about and write down how thankful I am for my husband and for my kids, because they also get on my nerves sometimes, you know? And it makes when you start your day with that kind of intention, you just seem to lower the irritation level, you seem to stretch the patience level, you seem to be able to trade those expectations that you have with them for appreciation. And that is something that I want to do. I want to have those positive thoughts about these people that I love so much on my mind instead of waking up and being like, oh, who left their cup here again? You know, that just breeds a whole nother level of I'm just going to pick this person apart in my head all day long. And it's not healthy. This is what I'm talking about with mindfulness and gratitude. It's something that if I wake up in the morning with positive intentions for these people, it's so much harder to flip it to a negative atmosphere. So I would challenge you to do that as well if you have a family or a partner or spouse. I know that can be difficult, even if you're not working together. It's a beautiful practice to get involved with in the morning. And it doesn't have to be, oh, I got to sit down, I got to write all these things out, I got to do all this stuff. It can simply be like when you're in the shower in the morning, you're thinking about this. Or when you're driving your kids to school, you can tell them very positive things about them. Ask them how they're going to have a positive day. That's something that we love to do. Many of us are so go, 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 and then we come home and we just drop. But setting that time to be mindful of and being present where you are. I know I have not been fantastic at this. I tend to be trying to work the entire time I'm trying to do my family time and everything else. Um, but I'm really trying hard not to do that. I'm leaving my purse and my phone, not my purse and my phone, my phone and my purse. And I'm really spending that time with my kids getting their homework done and cooking dinner and spending that family time that we have together is just so very important. Your kids and your spouse can totally tell too. When you're not looking at them and you're looking at everything else around them, it makes them feel like crap. So make sure that you're giving them the attention that they deserve. My big physical goal this year is to retrain my mindset around working out. I have always played a lot of sports when I was growing up. And so for me, working out was sports and competition. And I probably loved the competition even more than the sport, to be real honest with you. But now I've got to find a new healthy way to have that competition and feed that need. Even if it's hanging up a calendar on my fridge in my garage gym, and I get to mark it off every day that I go out there and work out, it's something that I can see that I'm achieving. And that is so very important to me. I need to stop thinking that working out sucks because I'm not playing sports. I need to find another way to channel that competitive nature that I had with the working out, playing sports, so that it fits into my adult life now. No matter what we decide to work on this year, resolutions need to be viewed, or intentions need to be viewed as a promise that you're making to yourself. And I love this quote by Marie Forleo, and she says, to be responsible, keep your promises to others. To be successful, keep your promises to yourself. It's so true, ladies. We put all of our responsibilities of keeping promises to others before the promises that we keep to ourselves, and then we wonder why we're not getting ahead or we're not where we're supposed to be. Schedule that shit on your calendar. Everything that you need to do for you needs to be on your calendar. Right now, I am in my hour-long window to record my podcast this morning. If it is an hour-long working out, I have my working out on my calendar. If it's, I'm going to get my nails done, put it on your calendar. If I'm going for a walk, I'm putting it on the calendar. Put it on the calendar. We all have phones and all this stuff. You get reminders all the time. If you get those reminders and you shut them off on promises to yourself, what do you think that's doing to your brain? You're not keeping your self-confidence. You're not keeping anything. You're like, oh, I'm going to put this in the calendar and I'm just going to avoid it again. You might as well just take it out of the calendar and stop torturing yourself. But this year, keep it in the calendar. Do it. Just do it. It's so amazing. There's this source from Inc.com, and it states that 41% of people who make New Year's resolutions, 41% only make New Year's resolutions. You'd think that would be at least half. Nope. Only 41%. And only 9% of them continue them for more than 2 years. And a whopping 23% quit after 1 week. Isn't that crazy? Don't let those numbers or statistics be you. Don't you give up. Adjust, pivot, slow down, do whatever you got to do, but do not give up. You can do this. And if you need help, our Facebook community at Ladies Kickin' Ass is always here to help and encourage you. This year's going to be so much fun too on the podcast. We have some great interviews coming up. My business coach, Jeff Heggie, is going to be on. He is incredible, ladies. He's helped me so much, and I can't wait to share his story and what he has to offer with you all. We have some wonderful ladies in our community, people that I've worked with in my business, other women that I know have started amazing businesses, whether that is here locally in Arizona or if it's outside. I have someone from the East Coast that's going to be on. She's a bookkeeper. She's absolutely incredible. I'm just so excited to share everybody's stories. So if you're listening to this and you know anyone that is in the service industry and you think they have a great story to tell, I would love to talk to them. So ladies, cheers to your big goals and cheers to the best year ever. You got this. And when you're feeling like you don't, you have me. Don't be afraid to reach out. Thanks, ladies. Talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast. I would love to invite you to become part of our exclusive community on Facebook groups. There is so much value there in inspiring you to chase your goals and coaching you on how to get there. Plus, you get the support of other women from across the world who have also joined. You can also find us all over social media and at our website, ladieskickingass.com. All social media platform links are in the show notes below, so we've made it nice and easy for you. Be sure to join so you are the first to hear about exciting programs and announcements that we have coming up. And ladies, there's some good stuff. And never miss a notification for an exciting new podcast episode release. If you yourself are a lady that is kicking some serious ass and you have an awesome story that you would love to share with our audience about running your business while raising your family and becoming the woman of your dreams, I want to talk to you. Check out our website at ladieskickingass.com/podcast, where you can apply to be a guest on our show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Tell me what you think of it with a rating and share this episode with anyone you think it may inspire or help. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next Friday. Bye for now.